Ethan Carter had never imagined that a single joke could change his life forever. The Deep Space Research Station where he worked orbited a small, quiet exoplanet on the edge of explored space. The station was a marvel of human engineering. A cluster of sleek modules connected by transparent tubes, housing scientists, engineers, and technicians from colonies across nearby systems. It was a place of routine and strict schedules, where every task was planned down to the minute, and social life was minimal. Ethan had learned to embrace the monotony. He liked working with machines, analyzing data, and exploring the limits of human technology in a controlled environment. Personal life, however, had never been a priority. That day, Ethan had joined a casual holo chat with visiting scientists from various colonies. It was meant to be a light moment amid serious work. They discussed experiments, shared small discoveries, and occasionally cracked jokes. Ethan, who usually kept his humor to himself, decided to make a lighthearted comment. "I guess I'm still single and available," he said with a playful smirk, not thinking much of it. The others laughed politely, and the conversation moved on. But unknown to him, the communication network of the station had slightly expanded, transmitting snippets of the chat to a distant sector far beyond known human colonies. Among the recipients were two unusual beings. Twin sisters from a star system humans had only recently detected. The Lyrani. The Lyrani were explorers, but unlike any humans had ever encountered. They were intelligent, technologically advanced, and their culture placed immense value on understanding and bonding with other species. In their society, a direct claim of another being was not only a gesture of affection but also a profound acknowledgement of trust and respect. When Alia and Saren, the twin sisters, intercepted Ethan's offhand joke, they interpreted it as an intentional signal. Within hours, they decided to visit the station. Their arrival was unlike anything Ethan or the station crew had ever experienced. The twins appeared suddenly in the docking bay, their presence announced by a soft hum of energy and a shimmering light that seemed to bend around them. They were tall and graceful, with glowing eyes that reflected intelligence and curiosity. Their movements were fluid, almost as if they moved through space rather than across it. Ethan was the first to see them, and he froze. His heart raced. He had dealt with robotic assistants, advanced drones, and even alien probes before. But this was different. These were sentient beings, and they had come directly for him. He tried to speak, but the words seemed inadequate. The twins approached, moving with confidence yet careful precision. Alia spoke first, her voice melodious and calm, carrying a weight that made Ethan sit up straighter. "You called," she said simply. There was no malice, no threat, just a statement of fact. Saren nodded beside her, her eyes scanning Ethan with an intensity that felt both invasive and respectful. "We understand you are single," she added. "You are available." Ethan blinked. That was a joke. I didn't." Alia tilted her head, studying him. "Humor is complex, but we understand the meaning. You have invited us." We respond. The realization hit Ethan. He had made a joke, one that in human terms was casual and fleeting. But for these beings, it was taken seriously. His mind raced as he tried to process the situation. The entire station seemed to hold its breath. Other crew members watched in awe and confusion, unsure how to respond to the sudden appearance of two advanced alien beings. Over the next few hours, Ethan attempted to explain himself, using gestures, words, and even digital translators. The twins listened patiently, but did not seem offended. Instead, they observed everything: the station's technology, the crew's reactions, and Ethan's behavior. They were curious about humans, a species they had only just begun to understand. Ethan quickly realized that interacting with the twins required a new approach. Their culture, thought processes, and perception of social cues were entirely different. Yet, there was something familiar in their curiosity and the way they studied the human world. They were explorers, just like him, in a different sense. As the day turned to evening, Ethan showed them around the station. They moved effortlessly through corridors, examining equipment, asking questions that revealed a deep understanding of science and engineering. They were fascinated by human creativity, the way humans could improvise solutions when technology failed, and the emotional connections that guided human decisions. Ethan found himself both nervous and exhilarated. He had spent years working with technology, but he had never encountered beings who could think and process information at such a high level. At the same time, their fascination with simple human qualities, humor, courage, and problem-solving, reminded him of why humans were capable of extraordinary things. During dinner, a communal meal in the station's cafeteria, the twins sat quietly, observing. They ate in a manner that seemed strange but elegant, taking only what they needed. The crew whispered among themselves, some intrigued, some cautious. Ethan tried to lighten the mood with small jokes, hoping to bridge the gap between human and alien social norms. The twins did not laugh in the way humans did, but there was an acknowledgement, a subtle indication that they understood his intent. By the end of the meal, Ethan began to see the situation from a new perspective. This was not a threat, nor was it a simple misunderstanding. The twins were here because humans had something rare in the galaxy, qualities that no advanced technology could replicate. Humor, creativity, courage, and the ability to form bonds were uniquely human, and the twins recognized that immediately. The following days were a mix of fascination and tension. Ethan had to learn quickly how to communicate effectively with the twins, balancing his natural instincts with the nuances of their culture. He discovered that they could sense emotions in subtle ways, picking up on feelings that humans often hid. This made honesty essential, but also allowed for a deeper connection that transcended words. Ethan found himself sharing stories of Earth, of human history, and of the challenges humans had overcome through ingenuity and teamwork. The twins listened intently, sometimes asking questions that challenged his assumptions and forced him to think more deeply about his own species. He realized that he was not just representing himself, but the potential of humanity to beings who could shape the future of interstellar relations. Despite the intensity of the situation, moments of levity appeared. Ethan would make jokes, and though the twins did not laugh outright, they acknowledged the humor with subtle gestures and expressions. These small interactions became bridges, helping him navigate the complexities of interspecies communication. By the end of the first week, the station crew had adjusted to the presence of the twins. Fear had given way to curiosity, and skepticism had been replaced by admiration. Ethan, who had started as a nervous joke maker, now felt a sense of responsibility. He understood that humanity was being observed, not just for scientific interest, but as a species with potential value in the broader galaxy. Ethan began to see that his joke, which had seemed insignificant at the time, had opened the door to an extraordinary opportunity. The twins were not only fascinated by humans but also willing to learn from them and interact with them on equal terms. It was an experience that challenged his understanding of what it meant to be human and what humans could achieve when their unique qualities were recognized and respected. In quiet moments, as he gazed at the stars from the observation deck, Ethan reflected on the sudden shift in his life. What began as a casual comment had turned into an encounter that tested his intelligence, courage, and emotional resilience. The twins, with their advanced abilities and unique perspectives, were a mirror reflecting humanity's strengths back at him. He realized that humans, though fragile and limited in some ways, possessed qualities that even the most advanced civilizations found remarkable. Ethan understood that this was only the beginning. The twins' presence hinted at adventures, challenges, and discoveries that lay far beyond the station. But for now, he focused on the immediate, understanding the twins, learning to communicate effectively, and proving that humans were worthy of trust and respect. He had joked about being single, but in the process, he had discovered a truth that went beyond humor. Humanity, in all its imperfection, ingenuity, and emotional depth, had something the galaxy had yet to fully recognize. And now, Ethan was at the center of that revelation, ready to prove that humans could rise to challenges that no one, not even advanced alien civilizations, could foresee. As the twin sisters moved gracefully through the station, observing, questioning, and learning, Ethan felt a mixture of awe and determination. He would meet them on their terms, showing them the best of what humanity could offer. His life had changed in ways he could never have imagined, all because of a single, careless joke. And in that moment, he realized that sometimes, the smallest actions could lead to the most extraordinary consequences. Ethan took a deep breath and smiled. The galaxy was vast, full of unknown wonders and dangers, but humans had something unique, something worth noticing, something worth respecting. And now, with the twin alien sisters observing, learning, and interacting with him, he had the chance to prove it. The adventure had only just begun. Life on the station had changed completely. The presence of Alia and Saren, the twin Lirani sisters, brought a mix of fascination, tension, and excitement. Ethan Carter found himself at the center of this new reality, navigating interactions that required patience, careful observation, and constant adjustment. He had always been confident in his technical abilities, but now he faced a challenge that went beyond machines or data. He was interacting with beings who could perceive things he had never even considered. The twins moved through the station with grace and precision. They observed every detail of human activity, from the way crew members coordinated experiments to the subtle expressions that revealed emotions. Ethan noticed that they did not judge, but they did take note. Their presence made people more aware of their own actions, more conscious of both their strengths and their weaknesses. Ethan spent much of his time with Alia and Saren, trying to explain human life, culture, and logic. He discovered quickly that their thinking patterns were vastly different from humans. They processed information in layers, seeing connections and patterns that were invisible to human minds. At first, this overwhelmed him. He struggled to answer their questions without giving away too much or revealing confusion. "What drives humans to act despite limited resources?" Alia asked one afternoon, her glowing eyes focused on Ethan. Ethan hesitated, realizing the depth of the question. We improvise," he said finally. "We find solutions even when logic and resources fail us. We rely on creativity, courage, and teamwork. And sometimes, we act because we believe it's the right thing, even if the odds are against us." Saren tilted her head, processing his words. "Your kind chooses action over certainty. Fascinating. It is illogical, yet effective." Ethan smiled faintly. "That's humanity in a nutshell." Over the next few days, Ethan found himself guiding the twins through the station's daily routines. He showed them the hydroponic labs, where humans grew food in controlled conditions, and the engineering bays, where machines were repaired and modified. The twins were quick learners, absorbing knowledge at a pace that was almost alarming. Yet, despite their intellect, there were moments when they clearly admired the human way of thinking. The ability to solve problems creatively, rather than following rigid protocols. One evening, the twins accompanied Ethan to the observation deck. The stars stretched endlessly, glittering in the darkness of space. Ethan felt a mixture of awe and humility, aware that these beings had traveled across light years to reach this small station. "Do humans fear the unknown?" Saren asked softly. Ethan considered the question. "Yes. But fear doesn't stop us. It shapes us. We find ways to overcome it. To survive. To thrive. Fear can make us stronger, if we use it right." The twins remained silent, absorbing the answer. Ethan realized that, for all their knowledge, they were eager to understand the human spirit, the qualities that could not be measured or replicated by technology alone. As the days passed, Ethan noticed subtle changes in the station's atmosphere. Crew members began to collaborate more efficiently, inspired by the twins' presence and the recognition of human potential. There was a sense that the station had become a proving ground, a place where humans could demonstrate ingenuity, resilience, and courage. Then the first real test arrived. A monitoring system detected a rogue asteroid approaching the exoplanet. It was not large enough to cause immediate concern, but its trajectory was irregular, and the sensors indicated that it carried a weak energy anomaly. This anomaly interfered with standard navigation systems, making predictions about its path uncertain. Ethan immediately assessed the situation. "It's not a direct threat yet," he said to the crew. "But we can't take chances. If it interacts with the planet's magnetosphere, it could cause serious damage." The twins examined the asteroid data with curiosity. "We can neutralize the threat," Alia said. "But the anomaly interferes with our energy projection systems. It will require human input." Ethan's eyes widened. "You want me to help?" "Yes," Saren said. "Your species' ingenuity complements our precision. Together, we can solve this." Ethan felt a surge of pride. This was more than a challenge. It was an opportunity to prove that humans could match advanced alien technology with creativity and courage. He joined the twins in the engineering bay, where they combined Lirani energy modules with human-controlled machinery. The plan was unconventional. The twins would manipulate energy around the asteroid, while Ethan adjusted the mechanical stabilizers to guide its path safely. Hours passed in intense focus. Ethan worked alongside the twins, learning to synchronize human intuition with alien precision. The anomaly caused unexpected fluctuations, and each solution led to a new problem. Sweat dripped from Ethan's brow as he improvised, adjusting mechanisms, calculating angles, and coordinating with the twins through gestures and shared mental cues. At one point, a surge of energy from the anomaly disrupted the station's systems. Ethan reacted quickly, rerouting power and recalibrating the stabilizers. The twins watched with admiration. "Your thinking is unpredictable," Alia said. "But it works," Saren nodded. "Humans are remarkable. You see possibilities we cannot. You adapt." Together, they managed to redirect the asteroid's course, steering it safely away from the planet and the station. The crew cheered as the last sensors confirmed the asteroid's new path. Ethan felt a mixture of exhaustion and exhilaration. He had faced a cosmic threat with beings far more advanced than himself and had contributed in a way that technology alone could not achieve. After the crisis, the twins reflected on the experience. "Your species demonstrates qualities we have not encountered often," Alia said. "Ingenuity, courage, adaptability. These are rare, and yet you possess them naturally," Saren added. "Your humor, creativity, and ability to act under uncertainty make humans uniquely capable. We understand now why you were claimed. It is not just a gesture. It is recognition of worthiness." Ethan realized that the claim had evolved. It was no longer about a joke or even a superficial connection. It was about trust, mutual respect, and recognition of human potential. The twins had come as explorers, but they were learning that humanity had value beyond what anyone had imagined. The days following the asteroid event were filled with reflection and conversation. Ethan shared stories of Earth's history, of moments when humans had overcome impossible odds with courage and ingenuity. The twins listened intently, asking questions that revealed both curiosity and admiration. In turn, they shared glimpses of their culture, their travels across the galaxy, and the challenges their species had faced. Ethan realized that, despite the vast differences, there was a shared sense of purpose. The desire to explore, understand, and grow. Through these interactions, Ethan saw the beginnings of a deeper bond. The twins were not just visitors, they were partners. Learning from him and allowing him to learn from them, he began to understand that humanity's value was not in technology or physical strength, but in qualities that transcended material limitations: creativity, adaptability, courage, and the capacity for emotional connection. The crew, too, began to see humans differently. They were no longer just scientists performing routine tasks in a remote station. They were representatives of a species with potential to be noticed, respected, and valued across the galaxy. The twins' recognition had a ripple effect, inspiring confidence, collaboration, and pride among everyone on the station. One evening, as Ethan prepared for rest, he reflected on how far things had come. What started as a joke, a casual statement about being single, had led to an encounter that tested his intellect, courage, and humanity. He understood that humans were more than what others often assumed: fragile, yes, but capable of extraordinary feats when the situation demanded it. Alia and Saren appeared at the observation deck again, their glowing eyes watching the stars. "You have shown us something rare," Alia said softly. "Humans can surprise even the most advanced civilizations." "You have proven your worth," Saren added. "This is only the beginning. There is more to learn, more to see, and more challenges ahead. But we will face them together. Your species has something that no other possesses: potential beyond measure." Ethan felt a deep sense of pride and responsibility. The twins' words were not just compliments. They were recognition that humans could stand as equals among the stars, that creativity, courage, and ingenuity were powerful tools that could shape outcomes in ways technology alone could not. As he looked out at the infinite expanse of space, Ethan realized that his life had changed forever. The joke that had started it all was no longer a trivial moment. It had opened a door to new experiences, challenges, and understanding. Humanity was no longer a quiet observer in the galaxy. It had a place, a voice, and a role. Ethan smiled, feeling both humbled and empowered. The twins had arrived, not just to claim him, but to witness the strength of humanity firsthand. And in doing so, they had ignited something within him, a drive to explore, to grow, and to show that humans were a species worth noticing, respected, and valued across the stars. The adventure had deepened, challenges awaited, discoveries loomed, and the bond between human ingenuity and alien brilliance was only beginning. Ethan Carter understood that, together with the twins, he would face whatever came next with courage, intelligence, and the uniquely human ability to turn even impossible situations into triumphs. The galaxy was vast, mysterious, and full of wonders, but for the first time, Ethan felt that humanity was ready to meet it head-on, and to shine brightly in ways that no one, not even advanced civilizations like the Lirani, could have predicted. Life on the station had settled into a rhythm, but Ethan knew this calm was only temporary. The encounter with the twin Lirani sisters had changed everything, and now the station itself seemed charged with an energy he had never noticed before. The crew moved with new purpose, inspired by the presence of beings who could perceive their every action with clarity and precision. Ethan, however, remained at the center of attention. The twins had made it clear that humans were special, but they also tested him constantly, observing how he thought, acted, and solved problems. The challenge came sooner than anyone expected. One morning, the station's sensors detected an unusual signal originating from the planet below. It was a strange energy pattern that did not match anything in human records. The signal pulsed in irregular intervals, and initial scans suggested it could interfere with the station's systems. Ethan examined the data with the twins. Alia's eyes glowed faintly as she processed the readings. "This is not a natural phenomenon," she said. "It has structure, intent. It may be dangerous." Saren nodded. "Our technology can isolate the source, but the interference is unpredictable. Human insight will be necessary." Ethan realized immediately that this was more than a scientific curiosity. The anomaly could threaten the station, the planet, and even the twins themselves. He felt the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. This was the moment humans had been noticed for. The moment where ingenuity, courage, and adaptability would be tested. The station's crew worked alongside Ethan, the twins guiding them in ways that combined Lirani energy manipulation with human technology. The anomaly proved challenging. It disrupted power, scrambled sensors, and even affected communication. Machines failed in ways that no human engineer had encountered, and yet Ethan refused to panic. He had learned from the twins that fear could be managed, that careful observation and improvisation were powerful tools. He coordinated the team, assigning tasks based on each member's strengths. Some recalibrated sensors, others reinforced structural systems, while Ethan focused on creating a stabilizing device that could interact with the anomaly's energy signature. The twins watched closely, providing subtle adjustments to energy fields, but leaving critical decisions to Ethan and his team. Hours turned into a tense, exhausting day. Every solution Ethan tried seemed to bring a new problem. The anomaly pulsed unpredictably, and the twins' energy systems reacted in unexpected ways. At one point, the energy surge caused a temporary blackout in a section of the station. Lights flickered, alarms rang, and the crew's nerves were tested. Ethan moved quickly, improvising a manual power reroute that restored critical functions. The twins observed. Impressed by his calm and decisive action, "You respond under pressure," Alia said softly. "Your mind finds solutions where we see only variables." Saren added, "Humans are unpredictable, yet effective. This is why your species is remarkable." Despite their praise, Ethan knew the situation was far from over. The anomaly's energy grew stronger, forming a swirling pattern over the planet's surface. If it was left unchecked, it could escalate into a storm capable of destabilizing the planet's magnetic field. The twins suggested combining their energy projection with human ingenuity to create a containment field. Ethan agreed, but he insisted that the crew be actively involved. He explained his plan step by step, using simple language and clear instructions. Humans and Lirani worked in harmony, synchronizing energy flows and mechanical stabilizers. Ethan constantly adjusted, predicting changes the twins could not foresee. His understanding of human logic, creativity, and improvisation became the key factor in adapting the plan as new problems arose. The anomaly's pulses became more intense, shaking the station and rattling the crew. Ethan's heart pounded, but he maintained focus. He realized that fear could not guide his actions. Only observation, analysis, and decisive effort could succeed. As he directed the crew, he noticed the twins subtly adjusting their energy streams, allowing for maximum efficiency while leaving critical moments in human hands. Finally, after hours of tense coordination, the anomaly began to stabilize. The swirling pattern slowed, its energy pulses becoming regular and manageable. Ethan guided the crew in deploying the final stabilizing module, a device that combined human mechanical precision with Lirani energy projection. The module engaged, forming a containment field that enveloped the anomaly. Slowly, it diminished, leaving the planet and station unharmed. A deep sigh of relief echoed through the control room. The crew looked exhausted but triumphant. Ethan allowed himself a small smile, feeling the satisfaction of a problem solved not by technology alone, but by the unique qualities of humans: ingenuity, courage, and collaboration. The twins approached him, their expressions a mix of admiration and respect. "You have proven your species' worth," Alia said. "You faced danger with clarity, courage, and ingenuity. These qualities are rare and invaluable." Saren nodded. "Your humor, adaptability, and resourcefulness complement our precision. Together, we have achieved what neither could alone. Humanity is stronger than we imagined." Ethan felt a sense of pride, tempered by humility. The praise from the twins was not just for him, but for the potential of all humans. They had recognized something that many humans took for granted: the ability to think creatively, to act courageously, and to find solutions where others saw only obstacles. Over the following days, the twins and Ethan spent more time together, studying the anomaly's energy patterns and refining the station's systems to prevent future disturbances. Through these interactions, Ethan learned more about the Lirani culture, their values, and their understanding of the universe. They respected humans not for raw power or advanced technology, but for qualities that could not be manufactured: intuition, adaptability, and the ability to act decisively in uncertain circumstances. Ethan also noticed changes within himself. He had always taken pride in his technical skills, but now he understood the value of human traits that went beyond machines and formulas: creativity, courage, humor, and emotional intelligence. These were strengths that could rival even the most advanced alien technology. He felt a renewed sense of confidence, knowing that humanity had qualities worth noticing, worth respecting, and worth relying upon in the face of cosmic challenges. The crew, too, began to recognize the significance of their achievements. They were no longer merely performing routine duties in a remote station. They were demonstrating the potential of their species. The twins' recognition acted as both validation and inspiration, encouraging collaboration, innovation, and pride among all members of the station. One evening, Ethan found himself alone on the observation deck with the twins. The stars stretched endlessly before them, a vast expanse of possibilities and unknown dangers. Alia's eyes glowed softly as she regarded him. "You have shown us the best of humanity," she said. "Ingenuity, courage, and adaptability. You have faced uncertainty and danger with clarity and resolve. Your species is capable of greatness." Saren added, "The galaxy contains countless challenges, yet humans have a spark that can shape outcomes in ways technology alone cannot. You have proven that your kind is not only capable, but remarkable." Ethan felt a deep sense of responsibility. The praise from the twins was more than personal. It was recognition of humanity's role in a larger universe. He realized that humans were not limited to their small corner of space. They had the potential to influence, adapt, and thrive in ways that even advanced civilizations could respect. The twins' presence also highlighted the importance of collaboration. Humans alone could solve problems creatively, but the combination of human ingenuity and Lirani technology produced results far greater than either could achieve independently. Ethan saw this as a model for humanity's future. Working together, learning from others, and embracing the strengths of all species could lead to extraordinary achievements. In quiet moments, Ethan reflected on how far things had come since the casual joke that had brought the twins to the station. What had begun as a playful comment had evolved into a profound encounter, one that tested his intellect, courage, and humanity. He had faced challenges that no human alone could have managed. And yet, through creativity, collaboration, and resilience, he had prevailed. The experience strengthened his belief in humanity's potential. Humans were not merely observers in the galaxy. They were capable of shaping outcomes, adapting to unforeseen challenges, and demonstrating qualities that could earn respect and trust from other civilizations. The twins had recognized this potential, and Ethan understood that it was now his responsibility to nurture and represent it. As he gazed at the stars with the twins, Ethan felt a sense of purpose and determination. The anomaly had been a test, but it was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast and full of unknown dangers. Yet humanity had qualities that could meet those challenges. Creativity, courage, adaptability, and emotional intelligence. These were strengths that could not be replicated, and they had proven their worth. Ethan smiled faintly, feeling a mixture of pride and anticipation. The adventure was far from over, and challenges would continue to arise. But he was ready. Humanity was ready. With the twins observing, learning, and collaborating, Ethan understood that the future held possibilities beyond imagination, and that humans, with all their ingenuity and resilience, had a role to play in shaping it. For the first time, he truly felt that humans were not just part of the galaxy, they were a force to be noticed, respected, and celebrated. The joke that had brought the twins to the station was no longer trivial. It had opened a door to discovery, growth, and recognition. And as Ethan prepared to face whatever came next, he knew that humanity's unique qualities would continue to shine, even in the vast, unknown expanse of space. The weeks after the anomaly incident were a mixture of anticipation, preparation, and reflection. Ethan Carter felt a new sense of purpose coursing through him. The twin Lirani sisters, Alia and Saren, had become more than visitors. They were collaborators, teachers, and observers, but also students in their own way. They were fascinated by humanity, not only for its ingenuity and courage, but for its emotional depth and unpredictability. Ethan, in turn, learned to navigate their complex thought processes, understanding that their strength lay in precision, strategy, and perception of interstellar forces. The station settled into a fragile calm, but Ethan knew that calm was never permanent in space. True to his instincts, new signs of unusual activity soon appeared. Sensors detected fluctuations in the surrounding space energy readings that didn't match anything previously recorded. The twins studied them carefully and concluded that it was likely a naturally occurring cosmic phenomenon, but the intensity was rising faster than expected. If left unchecked, it could disrupt not only the station's systems, but also the nearby planetary environment. Ethan realized that this challenge was bigger than the last one. The previous anomaly had been an unpredictable, dangerous test. But now, they faced a force of nature that was vast, powerful, and indifferent. It would require every ounce of human creativity, courage, and adaptability, combined with the advanced abilities of the twins, to confront it. The station's crew rallied around Ethan. His calm and confident leadership, honed during the earlier incident, inspired trust and determination. He assigned teams to monitor sensors, stabilize critical systems, and prepare emergency protocols, while he worked closely with the twins to develop a strategy. The goal was not just survival, it was to understand the phenomenon, contain it if necessary, and minimize risk. Ethan proposed a daring plan. While the twins would project controlled energy fields to influence the phenomenon, he and the crew would use human-engineered stabilizers, mechanical reinforcements, and intuitive adjustments to guide the process. The key, he explained, was real-time adaptation, responding to changes as they occurred, rather than relying on pre-calculated solutions. The twins agreed, trusting his judgment. The first stages of the operation were tense but manageable. Energy readings fluctuated, requiring constant adjustments. Ethan coordinated the crew with precision, improvising solutions to problems that arose unexpectedly. At one point, a surge of cosmic energy caused several systems to overload. Ethan acted immediately, rerouting power, recalibrating stabilizers, and guiding the twins in adjusting their energy fields. The station shook, alarms blared, but his determination never wavered. "This is why humans are remarkable," Alia said quietly, observing his quick decisions. "You respond to uncertainty with clarity and courage. Your species adapts where others rely only on predictability," Saren added. "Your intuition is a powerful tool. We understand now why your kind thrives even in the harshest conditions." Creativity and courage cannot be replicated by technology alone. Hours passed, and the challenge grew more intense. The phenomenon was massive, with unpredictable energy currents and waves. Every adjustment Ethan made led to new insights, new solutions, and sometimes, new problems. But with each obstacle, he became more confident, more attuned to the needs of the station, the crew, and the twins' abilities. His human qualities, intuition, adaptability, and courage became the guiding force in managing the crisis. The twins, though capable of incredible feats on their own, relied on Ethan's human insight. His ability to improvise, to think creatively under pressure, and to anticipate changes that their precise calculations could not account for proved invaluable. Together, human ingenuity and alien technology formed a synergy that neither species could achieve alone. Finally, after an intense period of collaboration, the combined efforts began to stabilize the phenomenon. The cosmic energy gradually subsided, controlled by the carefully managed fields and stabilizers. The station remained intact, the planet below unharmed, and the crew exhausted but victorious. Ethan allowed himself a moment of relief, knowing that their success was the result of human creativity, courage, and collaboration qualities the twins had recognized from the very beginning. After the crisis, Alia and Saren approached Ethan. Their expressions reflected admiration and respect. "You have demonstrated what your species is capable of," Alia said. "Ingenuity, courage, intuition. These are strengths that elevate humans beyond expectation." "Every one," Saren added. "The galaxy contains forces that challenge even the most advanced civilizations. Yet humans face them with adaptability and determination. Your species is worthy of recognition and trust." Ethan realized that the twins' recognition was more than a compliment. It was validation of humanity's potential. Humans were not merely observers in the cosmos. They could shape outcomes, solve unprecedented challenges, and demonstrate qualities that earned respect across species. In the days that followed, the twins shared more about their culture, revealing the significance of the claim. It was not simply a personal or emotional gesture. It was a profound acknowledgement of worthiness, trust, and potential. By claiming him, they had recognized the qualities that made humans unique. Ethan understood that his joke, which had seemed trivial at first, had initiated a chain of events that demonstrated the value of humanity to beings far more advanced than any humans had encountered. The bond between Ethan and the twins grew stronger. They shared missions, experiments, and explorations, always observing, learning, and testing the limits of collaboration. Ethan, in turn, discovered new confidence in his own abilities and in the human capacity to face the unknown with ingenuity and courage. He was no longer just a member of the station. He had become a symbol of human potential. The crew also felt the impact. Their confidence grew, inspired by the recognition that humans possessed unique qualities that could be respected even by the most advanced civilizations. They worked more effectively, supported each other, and took pride in their shared accomplishments. The station became a place not only of research but of proof that humans were capable of remarkable achievements when creativity, courage, and collaboration were applied. One evening, as Ethan and the twins stood on the observation deck gazing at the stars, Alia spoke softly. "You have shown us that humans are not limited by what is predictable. You embrace uncertainty and adapt. This is a rare gift." Saren added, "Your species demonstrates that courage and creativity can overcome obstacles that technology alone cannot. Humans have a spark that can influence outcomes across the galaxy." Ethan felt a surge of pride and humility. He had started as a man who made a simple joke, unaware of its consequences. Now he understood that the qualities that made him human, creativity, courage, intuition, and emotional depth, were powerful forces in a universe full of challenges and unknowns. The twins offered him a choice. He could remain on the station, continuing to work and learn alongside the crew, or he could join them on their interstellar explorations, traveling to distant systems, encountering new civilizations, and facing challenges that no human had ever faced. Ethan hesitated for only a moment. Adventure had always been a part of him, and now, with the recognition and partnership of the twins, the opportunity was extraordinary. "I'll go with you," he said finally, determination shining in his eyes. Alia and Saren nodded, pleased. "Then we will journey together," Alia said. "You will see what lies beyond the stars, and we will see the potential of your species in action." Saren added, "Human ingenuity and courage will guide us, just as our technology guides you. Together, we can face anything." Ethan felt a sense of exhilaration and responsibility. The galaxy was vast, full of wonders, challenges, and dangers. But he now understood that humanity was not only capable of surviving, but also of thriving. The qualities that defined humans' creativity, courage, adaptability, and emotional intelligence were tools as powerful as any technology. As the twins prepared their ship for departure, the station crew gathered to bid farewell. There were smiles, handshakes, and words of encouragement. Ethan realized that he was not leaving alone. He carried with him the pride, hope, and potential of humanity itself. The twins had claimed him, yes, but more importantly, they had recognized the strengths that made humans remarkable. Ethan took a deep breath as the ship lifted off, leaving the station behind. The stars stretched endlessly before him, a canvas of possibilities and adventures. He felt the thrill of exploration, the responsibility of representing humanity, and the excitement of facing challenges that no one had imagined. The twins guided the ship with precision, their energy flowing seamlessly with the human-engineered systems. Ethan observed, learned, and contributed, realizing that this partnership, human creativity and alien brilliance, could achieve things beyond the reach of either species alone. In the quiet moments, as the ship traveled through uncharted space, Ethan reflected on his journey. A single joke, a casual remark about being single, had led to encounters, challenges, and recognition that would define the rest of his life. But it was not luck or chance alone that had mattered. It was the human qualities he embodied, courage, ingenuity, adaptability, and emotional depth that had earned him a place alongside the Lyrani and had proven humanity's value. The stars glimmered around them, distant suns and unknown worlds waiting to be discovered. Ethan smiled, knowing that this was only the beginning. Humanity had a role in the galaxy, one defined not by technology or strength alone, but by qualities that were uniquely human. With Alia and Saren by his side, he would explore, learn, and demonstrate the power of human potential. And in that moment, he understood something profound. Humans were not just a species among many. They were a force to be noticed, respected, and celebrated. They had creativity that could solve impossible problems, courage that could face unimaginable dangers, and resilience that could overcome the most extreme challenges. Humanity's story was just beginning, and Ethan was ready to live it to the fullest, guiding, learning, and proving that humans truly could shine among the stars. The adventure stretched before him, vast, unknown, and full of promise. Ethan Carter, a human who had once joked about being single, now stood as a symbol of everything humans could achieve: ingenuity, courage, and an indomitable spirit that no alien, technology, or cosmic force could ever suppress. The galaxy was wide, but humanity's potential was even wider, and together with the twin Lyrani sisters, he would show it to the stars.